my elder. I'm sorry.
Calls people pedophiles.
And despite my distaste for some of his language, he shows up and does the work, and he's sincere about it. And people who choose to interact with Mr. Batman know what they're going to get. So why are they surprised, shocked, and clutching at their pearls when they get a stern interaction?
Well, I think I might agree with everything except for the sincere part. Like, he's not sincere in what he does.
He's sincerely doing the work
this is what
that
Jesus wants.
he believes he ought to do.
Wait, is that somebody? Hold on. I've been looking for one of these. Somebody has.
And you know what? I don't want to have a public discussion about Mr. Batman's conduct. He's my elder, and I'm not in any position to correct him either. If he's being abusive to somebody, then I have to mute him and ask him to leave or something.
Wait, hold on.
This is Mr. Batman's standard course of interaction.
Hold on, is my mic working?
Is that when you're stubborn, he calls you a name and then shuts you down.
I was speaking.
Everybody knows that.
Concrete.
I was speaking. Anyway, somebody mentioned that they can detect sincerity. I've been looking for a sincerity detector. Can you tell me where you got yours from, please?
Well, I've known him about 3 years.
Not you.
Oh, sorry.
The person who said that Mr. Batman is not sincere. Obviously, they have a sincerity detector. Oh, okay, great. Bro, where did you get your sincerity detector from? I'd like to get one myself.
It's the same place I got my asshole detector, and you're going off the fucking charts right now.
Congrats. was that from
beep 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 on my fucking asshole? Like it's like pointing at you as soon as you started talking. If you saw the device, you'd see it. Beep beep beep. It's just
So bad that I'm not sincere.
Maybe Skylar.
It must be miscalibrated because it didn't detect you.
I didn't distract this conversation. I just want to say concrete.
Oh, now you're crying. Wow.
I think it's a situation where like Skylar and Batman are so alike that they
Mr. Batman, are you sincere?
I guess not. I'm really kind of hurt by that.
Yeah, you call people pedophiles, bro. You can't. I don't take people.
Oh wow! I guess that means you're not sincere then.
You call people.
I guess that means you're not sincere.
Would you say, sir, that I'm sincerely insincere?
Sincerely insincere.
Right
you
there.
talk a lot about pedophiles. Yes. That's what worries me. As you bring up pedophiles all the time, and I think like when someone talks about it a lot, like you do, it gives me worries. Is what I'll tell you.
Oh wow! So armchair psychology.
Well, you talk about God killing children. Does that mean you want to kill children?
Oh,
well, I'm not
is that what God would want me to do?
I'm just using your logic, bro. I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, is that what God would want me to do? Does that actually happen?
That doesn't answer his question, bro. Are you paying attention? That doesn't answer his question.
I don't. I don't want to kill children.
I didn't
I'd have to actually
Mr.
say it.
Skylar Fiction. Hello, Mr. Fiction. How you doing today, sir? Have you stopped being a pedophile yet?
See, there he is. There you go, guys. This is who you guys look up to. This is him. The guy calls people a pedophile.
I look up.
Mr. Batman, why is
you said you didn't have any reason for your morality, so you could be a pedophile.
Oh, now you're lying
I was
for
just
Jesus. Why would you lie? Why would you lie for Jesus?
You said
right
you didn't have any reason for your morality.
That's not true.
You didn't have any foundational reason for your morality, so you could be a pedophile.
Why are you lying?
Have you?
Why are you lying right now?
Have you come
Why
to some
are you lying?
solid,
Look at you. You can't. You're just trying to
let
filibuster
you
me.
know that you can't
gonna
be a
win
pedophile.
it. You won't win it.
Wait a second. There's a problem. There's a problem with what he just said, right? Because you can have a moral foundation and still be a pedophile, right? Why would that exclude the other?
No, sir. Actually, you would have to exclude the moral foundation. The only moral
well,
foundation
you can know
the God of the Bible. Let me go ahead.
You can know that it's wrong, but still do it, right?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
You can know that it's wrong and still do it, right, Mr. Batman?
That. There we go. That's much better. Love that. So, once again, sir, once you are
like
actually
you people
going
like a
out
coward
of your
because
way,
you're too afraid to hear them out.
Acknowledge
now you're
that
going to
there is no knowable God.
I'm not going to let
then you
you
cannot know
me.
what is right
I'll
or wrong.
Continue to talk
so
over
you make it up as you go along. It's called a subjective morality.
Can I ask a question?
Subjective morality. He literally subjectively choose
he won't
to be
have
a pedophile.
We're not going to overtalk each other in this channel.
For any
Do
reason
you understand?
Whatsoever. Yeah, we gotta get a civil
Can I ask a question?
rhythm going here.
Wait, I just want to appeal to Victor real quick because I got muted and I don't think I was acting I don't think I was acting like out of accord with the.
You know, we in here we're all very used to moderating together, and we have a tendency to mute people if they're derailing the conversation, and then unmute them quickly. It's not always about disliking you, so don't take it personally.
Oh, I don't like him. How about that?
Yeah, well, you get muted if you have a good point. That's what happens. So
I put a note on Skylar's account that says,
if you're gonna heckle, that'll get you muted for sure. If you're just gonna heckle,
well, listen, I tried to talk about the issues.
Or Daffy
I'm trying
Duck,
to talk about
you're
issues.
Get muted.
Mommy issues.
Well, that's when I try to talk about the issues.
Skylar, what issues do you want to talk about, bro?
Mommy issues.
What's the matter, Mr. Skylar Pedo? Are you afraid of actually trying to tell me where your morality comes from, Mr. Skylar Pedo?
There you go. See what I was talking about? See what I'm saying? You say I'll talk about.
Skylar, bring up the
why don't you call him out?
Skylar,
why don't you call him out for calling me a pedo?
I'm asking you, sir, is it wrong for you to be a pedophile?
Did you get breastfed?
Not breaking the rules.
Oh, it's not. It's not wrong for you to be a pedophile. Thank you for admitting that, sir. Appreciate that. So now, since it's not wrong for you to be a pedophile, see, just because you haven't engaged in that activity yet, and I'm not accusing you of anything because I don't want to do that. I really hope you never become a pedophile.
This isn't an engagement.
But you have no valid reason for why it's wrong to be a pedophile. So you can change your mind and be a pedophile for any reason at any time because you're hungry, because you're horny, because hell, for no reason at all, you could just be a pedophile.
When would I talk? I don't know what
hold on. Mr. Batman, ask me why it's wrong to be a pedophile. I'll offer an answer, and then hopefully Skylar will realize what he needs to do in order to help this conversation go forward.
Literally,
instead, sorry, hold on,
bro.
Calm down. Stop over talking.
I would love to ask you that question.
Go ahead.
Mr. Concrete, could you tell me, please, sir, why is it wrong for you to be a pedophile?
Besides it being disgusting, it would be a violation of God's law.
And what God would that be, sir?
The Christian God. Amen.
The God of the Bible, correct?
Amen. Yes. God of the Bible.
There we go. And so now you have a foundation outside of your mind for why things are right or wrong. The Bible says if you rely on your mind, you are nothing more than a fool.
You have a claim.
Absolutely.
That's a claim you guys have. That's not actually a fact.
I don't know if it's entirely outside of your mind, though, because you're subjective.
It changes mind anytime. You know, the last time we had this chat, he actually admitted to me that he changes his mind all the time. So he can change his mind and be a pedophile anytime he damn well
makes sense.
To.
I mean, it also makes sense.
Skylar, so Mr. Batman,
that he was going to.
Yikes.
All right, now that everyone's muted, who's talking, over talking people, like I said not to do in this channel, let's try it again.
Please.
All right.
Wait, why do you what? So Skylar overspoke Mr. Batman and myself, and you mute me?
I just said don't overtalk. No one. I gotta mute everyone, otherwise you won't listen.
He muted all the people who were talking at the time. Quit taking it personal, man. We're just
it's okay. It's okay if you have a double standard. No problem. Actually, it's not okay.
You were talking at the moment. He wasn't talking at the moment. He didn't require muting.
Sorry, go ahead, Mr. Batman.
I have a question. I have a question.
Hold on. Can I would like to respond?
Badge of honor, sir.
All right,
no problem.
Let's let Mr. Skylar Fiction respond for less than 2 minutes, hopefully.
Oh, yeah, it'll definitely be less than that.
Less than 2 minutes.
So, first of all, everything you were saying was a lie about me. Which
really? So you have a reason for?
Well, there we go. I guess I don't have
please.
Sure. He called me a liar when he doesn't.
You called him a pedophile.
Yes, I did because he doesn't have a reason for it wrong for him to be a pedophile. I have no problem.
I can sue you for defamation.
So, Mr. Fiction, can you tell me
why he
didn't
didn't actually call you one, but he said, "Why is it wrong for you?"
Yeah, he called me.
It's a little spicy, but
all right, dude. Listen,
I will allow it.
All right. Well, he's called me in other videos, but that's okay. So here's the deal. Once again, didn't say those things. I said I obviously have reasons for my moral system. Right. First of all, it's part of my moral system that I don't hurt children. Right.
Oh, so you're saying it's morally wrong to do something?
I know. You couldn't let me speak more than 20 seconds.
But why is it wrong?
I know that's how bad.
What is it based on outside of your mind?
Batman, would you please just mute up for like 2 minutes?
Sure,
people are going to accuse
argument
you
before.
of not listening.
I'll go get a drink and I'll be right back.
And they're accusing me of being a bad moderator.
That's all right, sir. I apologize. I'll go ahead and mute myself. No problem.
Thank you.
I mean, it doesn't make much difference whether he's listening or whether he actually is trying to listen. He wouldn't understand what I'm saying to him. So it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah, see,
there is reasons behind my morality.
In.
This is well, you're interrupting, and it's not him jumping in right now. He went
going to open with an insult. It's just dumb. Go ahead.
You know, this is the way you guys run rooms is awful. You guys don't actually.
Tyler,
just finish your thought.
Please, man, wasting time.
Wasting all your time.
I know. No. You guys eat a bag of dicks. That's what you do.
Okay, bye. Just go.
Yeah.
Go.
Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Go clutch your pearls. This is the Christian persecution complex, I guess.
There's no reason to
you
get
get your free time. You get your free time, and you want to just spurg out.
I see somebody calling somebody else a pedophile, and then him calling him a jerk or an asshole or whatever it is. If you guys bouncing on him, but not going after Mr. Batman for calling him a pedophile.
Did I just remind Mr. Batman of what he said? And he reminded you that he did not call anyone. He asked, why is it wrong for you?
He did.
It's a provocative way to ask the question. All right. Well, you're
Victor, I can't help but notice that he did actually call him a pedophile.
It's a provocative way to ask the question, and it's probably done intentionally, but it's not an accusation. It's meant to provoke, probably, but it's not actually an accusation. I wouldn't be comfortable saying it to somebody, but he's 20 years my senior, and if he wants to speak provocatively, I'm not going to stop him. Now, if he actually starts attacking somebody, not letting them speak or defend themselves, as you've seen, I do stop him or try to. So, if you don't like interacting with Mr. Batman, stop interacting with Mr. Batman, for crying out loud. If it hurts when you do this, don't do this anymore. Very easy.
Exactly.
And if you want someone to change their behavior, lining up to throw stones at them ain't the way to do it.
And if you don't like the room moderation, there are other rooms in this server.
I think you need to control your own emotions, Skylar, instead of trying to control other people.
And then the whole room clapped.
I think we should, just Victor, I'm not trying to overmod you, but I do think we should just give Skylar one more chance, unmute him to actually make an argument instead of just...
You know what? I will. Okay,
thank you.
That's fine. But, asking someone not to interrupt you and then insulting them immediately to get them fired up is not the way to stop them from interrupting you. So if you want to get to the end of your sentences, maybe don't ask rhetorical questions or make insults.
As an atheist, I can answer why.
Let Skylar do it if you would like.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. Why would that be wrong?
This is what you want to do with your time.
I'm sorry, sir. Why would that be wrong in your worldview? Outside mind that you claim to have, why would it be wrong? You see, if you appeal to your mind,
you demonstrate things are wrong outside of our minds.
That you have changed your mind before. So you could change your mind and say, you know what? It's no longer wrong to drown children. It's no longer wrong to have sex with children. Because you could change your mind and be a pedophile, sir. Because you have nothing outside of your mind to point to and say, see, this never changes. This is why I know it's always going to be wrong to be a pedophile.
God's already done it.
What God is it do you worship,
God's already done it. God's already done the things that I've listed.
I'm sorry, sir. What God is it you're worshiping, sir? You said you're a theist. What God is it you're worshiping?
It's a God who doesn't.
What God is it you are worshiping, sir?
Children.
What God is it you are worshiping, sir?
It's like you're a broken.
He's doing an internal critique on your God.
What God is it you are worshiping, sir?
It's your God, Mr. Batman.
He's not worshiping my God, sir. He has nothing to do with my God.
No, he's doing an internal critique of your worldview. How incoherent it is.
You could do it
once again, Mr. Fiction. What God is it that you worship?
The God who does not have people execute children.
I'm sorry, sir. That's not a name. I need a name for a God, sir. What's the name of your God? How do you know of his revelation? How do you know he doesn't want you to be a pedophile, sir? How do you know your God doesn't want you to go out and murder and kill children, sir? How do you know this?
What's the beliefs of this God?
Okay, so first of all,
How do you know anything about this God, sir?
See? Oh, no, it's not. No moderation here. Yeah, the gods don't have to have names. Why?
I'm sorry, sir. You're making this crap up as you go along. I don't need your made-up crap.
That's just your
the God Yahweh.
Excuse me, can we please go one at a time? And can we
God
just
has a name,
calm this down,
God
please?
is Yahweh, the God of the Bible. The God of creation, the God of salvation.
Mr. Batman,
Once again, Mr. Fiction, give me the name of your God or shut your pie hole because you're a worthless pile of crap.
May we please calm down and not call names?
I see a lot
I'm
of
sorry, sir.
Like
then how do you know anything about your God? How do you know it's wrong for you to be a pedophile? I'm sorry, sir. No, it's not bad logic. Where does logic come from?
You won't even let me
know that
Mr. Batman, come on. You're trampling over him.
Down.
Yes, sir, I am trampling over him because he's worth trampling. The fact of the matter is he's making all these claims
I thought you just called him
without having any knowledge of a God.
Here's the problem with that, Mr. Batman, is he's got a bunch of people watching him stream this, and he'll be able to shut this off and go tell them that you're all afraid of him, and they will believe it. So
I'm not
if you don't
afraid
let
of
him
him.
talk,
I'm asking him to answer the damn
right.
question.
But
Why won't he answer the question?
All these poor minions that are following his YouTube channel will believe him when he tells them that,
I can hardly wait till
you're
he tells
afraid.
them that Mr. Batman wrecked his worldview because he can't help but be a pedophile.
So just let him finish. Just let him finish so that there's no, disillusion there.
Skylar, what's your YouTube?
Skylar Pedo. That's the YouTube channel.
Him about why he calls you that. That's you're in his issue.
That's all I know now. But anyway,
I'm here to make sure people. You know what? Nah. I just decided if you're gonna believe what you want to, you're gonna believe I'm an abusive moderator. I'll give you what you want, Skylar.
There you
Get
go.
the hell out of here.
You know,
no matter what I do to try to be fair to you, I'm just abusive. This is all beyond the pale. Until I just relinquish control of the whole room to you, I guess it's not good enough. So kiss my ass, hit the road.
You know, Mr. Victor, I do appreciate you putting patience in me, sir, because I understand I can be quite aggressive when it comes to people like this idiot. But I've had this conversation with him on numerous occasions, and here's how it went down. I asked him, where does your morality come from? Comes from my mind. Oh, really? Have you ever changed your mind before? Why, yes. Well, is it wrong to be a pedophile? Yes. Have you ever changed your mind before? Yes. Guess what? Then you can change your mind and be a pedophile. Because if you rely on your mind for your morality, you can change your mind and change your morality.
It's all democratic.
So to be clear, you were just waiting
that.
for that.
I like that. It's called subjective morality. It's called fluid morality. And Mr. Fiction has fluid morality. He has no absolute God. That's why he says gods have no names. Because you know the reason he's a theist right now is because I wrecked his worldview when he was an atheist. That's why I became a theist.
He didn't say that gods don't have names. He said
yes,
that
he did, or you weren't paying attention.
No, he said that they can not have them, but I don't necessarily believe in that.
You know, maybe you ought to get up off your knees when you're listening to Mr. Skylar Fiction.
Wow.
I don't even know that
You're not questioning anyone. You're just belligerent. It's belligerent.
Should we put a calm down here?
It's not about doing drama. You were destructive to having a conversation, and you were waiting for a setup from Skylar. You weren't wanting to have like an actual meaningful discussion. You wanted to just repeat the old one that you had with him.
There's no meaningful discussion here, sir. He won't answer the question, so why even bother?
Then why are you talking to him?
Because he's allowed to speak in this room. I'm allowed to speak in this room. And I'm happy to destroy him any place he goes. Would you like to have a conversation, sir? I'd be happy to destroy you.
Absolutely, I would love to.
Great. Sir, what God do you believe in, and how do you know him?
I don't believe. I
really?
lack of it.
Then where does everything come from? Time, space, matter, laws of logic, laws of nature. Where does all that come from?
I don't know that it comes from somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. If you don't know, your worldview is already broken down and you don't know. And you can't tell me I'm wrong. You know why? Because you just don't know. You're too stupid to know something. So once again, if your worldview cannot answer everything in the world that you view, your worldview is broken. So once again, let me try this one more time. Can you tell me, sir, where does time, space, and matter come from?
Since
we know from the second law of thermodynamics that everything has
to be. We loop back to your first question. Do you want an actual thorough answer, or do you want to just like?
Sir, where does time, space, and matter come from, and how do you know it?
I'm trying to tell you. So first of all, how do you know it
Answer the damn question.
Somewhere? I'm literally in the midst of doing so. How do you know it came from somewhere?
Because of the second law of thermodynamics. Because I happen to be a science teacher. Because everything goes from a state of order to disorder, from workable usable energy to no workable usable energy. Sir, I can tell you the whole story in less than 5 minutes if you like to shut up long enough to listen.
How do you know?
Don't ask rhetorical questions unless you want to get cut off. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go.
Don't do that.
He asked a question, so now I'm going to answer it. The second law of thermodynamics, everything goes from order to disorder. It's also called thermal equilibrium. Everything is going from a state of heat to cold. And we can see this by you can do it. Even you can do this simple experiment in your own kitchen, sir. You can take a cup of hot steaming coffee. Well, in your case, it'd probably be cocoa because you're probably not old enough to drink coffee. A cup of hot steaming cocoa, put it in the middle of your coffee table, walk away for 3 hours, and then when your mommy allows you back in the kitchen, what happens to the temperature of your cocoa in your cocoa cup? Oh, I'll tell you, sir. It comes closer to the room temperature. And the longer those two things are in the same environment, the closer they will become to thermal equilibrium, where there will be no measurable difference between the heat of one or the other. So guess what? Since we know that that big shiny yellow ball in the center of our solar system is much hotter than the pretty blue ball where we live called the Earth, then guess what?
I'm not denying
those two things could not have been the same environment for an infinite amount of time in the past, or they would already have reached thermal equilibrium. That way it means they would be the same temperature. Wow. How difficult is that to understand?
I love that you're talking down to me when the...
Actually, I teach science, sir, and yes, it does agree with me. Have a nice day, since you're too stupid to have this conversation. Next.
Unbelievable. You're talking to yourself. You're talking to yourself.
You're pretty much just attacking everybody in this room that tries to solve it.
And even your quantum mechanics requires laws of physics and
laws of logic. How do you know that?
No, they don't. They don't.
Oh, really? Really? How do you identify
You're pretty much attacking everybody in this room.
How do you identify a quantum field without
the laws of logic? It's actually the other way around. It's actually the other way around, Mr. Batman.
How do you identify quantum fields without laws of logic?
What are you talking about? I have laws of logic.
In order to identify a quantum field, you have to have a law of identity. A is A. Something is what it is, and it cannot be what it is not. It has unique, exclusive, and immutable properties
that's amazing.
to make it uniquely, exclusively. When you speak over me, sir, I mute you.
Make this
and I'm just going to continue on. So,
you're going to just make this worse.
Again, A is A, and A has unique, exclusive, and immutable properties.
I know what he's saying, so he doesn't have to say this.
And immutably what it is. Now, why is that so, sir? Even on the quantum realm? Oh, have a nice day. You're too stupid to have this conversation.
No, you don't know what you're talking about.
No, sir.
As usual.
Actually, what I have is truth. Truth by its very nature is exclusive.
Can I finish? Quit interrupting me.
Change. If you don't like that, that's not my problemo. Have a nice day, Octo. You're too stupid to have this conversation.
No, I'm not, actually.
You're calling everybody stupid. I don't think that's a valid
because the Bible does.
Point.
You know what the Bible says in Proverbs 18:2? The fool has no desire for understanding, but only in expressing his opinion.
It should be obvious.
Octo only wants to express
if it's not obvious to you, if it's not obvious to you yet, Octavarium, you, Skylar, all these people came into the room to be called names by Mr. Batman. You didn't come in here to talk to me.
He asked me a question
or anyone else in the room. You came in here to rile up Mr. Batman. If you thought anything was going to be any different than this, you are insane.
Never mind.
Mr. Batman does what Mr. Batman do. Mr. Batman destroys the false world. I am Mr. Batman, proclaimer of the Messiah and destroyer of false worldviews. Psalm 92:6. The stupid man cannot understand this. The fool cannot know. This goes for women too. The stupid women cannot understand it either.
The Bible doesn't mean anything. Why are you quoting it?
Next.
That's all you got? That's it?
You haven't engaged anyone. You're just
Mr. Victor, we've got quite a few people in here now, though.
Team Slayer.
Yeah, it must be because they all hate how you act. They just hate it so much.
Also, you do realize
I was actually at school today. I was teaching my 6th graders how to do exactly this very same thing. But don't start off calling them stupid. You got to give him a couple chances to really act stupid and then call him stupid.
He's entertaining. That's why, because everybody laughs at him. He's not smart enough to have these conversations.
Even when I was in the public school arena, if you get him talking about God, it's fair game, and it's not hard to do.
Intelligent people are really lame.
I can already tell you're Southern.
You know what's easy to do?
I think he's making a good point.
When I was in the public school arena, when I was teaching science in public school, all I had to do is say, you know what, boys and girls, there are certain natural laws, like laws of physics, laws of cause and effect, laws of mathematics, laws of thermodynamics, laws of gravity, laws of magnetism. Where do they come from? Well, we don't know. But wouldn't you agree that any law like that doesn't change over time has to come from a lawgiver that doesn't change over time? Why, yes.
No.
Well, what lawgiver would that be?
Well, why doesn't the consensus of science agree with that? Well, why is that?
Great, now we can talk about it. Not difficult at all. You can do that in social studies as well. I did that one time when we were talking about the Reformation. Why did all those people leave one country and try and come to our country? Well, you know what? The book stopped short of saying why. I said, whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. We're leaving out a big chunk right here. We need to go over this. And the assistant, actually the teacher's aide that was in there didn't like the way I was saying it. And luckily I knew she was going to not like it, so I recorded it. And I actually said, no, here's exactly what I said. And the principal said, well, yeah, he's right. So, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing it for 10 years. Next.
Yeah, you know, Harlequin.
You haven't answered anyone's questions. I don't know why you're saying next. You haven't actually.
Harlequin, the fact that there are laws implies that they're written or declared or
that's conflation. They're observed laws, not prescribed.
Observe whether our observations about them are correct or not. We know that they are there. There are laws. There is authority which governs matter in the universe.
Absolutely. And you know what else, Mr. Victor? Our observation does not prescribe them. Our perception of them does not prescribe them. So why do these laws exist? Why do they not change over time? And why are they going to be here tomorrow? Can you answer any of those questions?
The laws of thought, the laws of logic apply to us as humans in our observation.
No, sir. They apply to the physical world. Because did you know, sir, that without the law of identity, you cannot have functionality in our physical world? Without the law of identity, you don't get classifications of things, categories, and labels. Can you tell I've done this before? I've been doing this for 40 flipping years. Now, without the law of identity, you don't get categories, classifications, things, or labels. Without the law of identity, you don't have a classification thing called a photon. That photon cannot affect another classification thing called your retina, sending another classification thing called a signal to the fourth classification thing called your brain, if you would have one. And then also a fifth classification thing called a thought. So you can actually know what it is you are perceiving.
Say what you want
so without the law of identity, you don't get to have the ability to perceive. Not only that, but without the law of identity, that is chemical A being specific and unique to chemical B, you don't get chemical reactions to chemical compounds. That means there's no life. So
learn patience.
You're just condescending him when you say it. It's like saying he's an old doddering fool. I mean, you respect him.
You got a big mouth, you know that?
I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass. Because you're letting this guy.
So I think what they want to clarify is basically just because a law exists and stays the same doesn't mean it proves or disproves that there's a God. Could you go more into that, maybe?
Certainly.
Yes,
happy to. Because if you're going to say that a law exists, such as the law of identity, or the law of cause and effect, or let's say the laws of thermodynamics, because there's certain laws that are eternal, universal, and unchanging. Other laws are just universal and unchanging. They're not eternal. They were created right before the universe was created. So, wait a minute. In order to have any of those laws that are universal and unchanging, whether they are eternal or not, you have to have a cause for those laws that is non-changing, and you have to have a cause for those laws. It's going to be here tomorrow, so those laws will be here tomorrow. What would be the cause of the law of cause and effect? What would be the cause of the laws of thermodynamics, the first and second laws of thermodynamics? What would cause those laws not to change over time? You know what? It can't be the physical world. You know why?
How do you know?
Because one of those laws of
that?
the physical world tells us that everything in the physical world is constantly changing.
That's
so
the black
physical
swan
world
fallacy.
cannot be the cause of laws that don't ever change over time. Wow. What a crybaby. Let me go ahead and mute that idiot. There we go. So, once again, once you actually realize that in order to actually have any natural laws whatsoever, you must have a lawgiver. And because you have a lawgiver, that lawgiver must be eternal, universal, and unchanging. Without an eternal, universal, and unchanging lawgiver, then nothing exists. It's that simple. And there's only one of those.
That with other
and by the
aspects
way,
of the
in order to justify communication and love, then you know what you're going to have? You're going to have a triune God, not a singularity God, not just any God, but the God of the Bible. Oh, that would be the very first word of Genesis called Bereshit, and the second word Elohim. Bereshit Elohim, right there. That's the name of that game, boys and girls.
Checkmate Atheist. I don't know how to come in here, Mr. Batman.
Right.
Hello, Mr.
You got
Gamer.
one conversion.
Can you refute that?
Okay, so
you said it was a conflation of terms, right? So
you covered a lot of territory because you filibuster. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to say. I would love to.
Filibuster? I'm sorry, sir. Let me just ask you one question.
When he said lawgiver, you said there was a conflation of terms.
Yes, I would need to go back to that. You've covered territory.
Okay, sir. Wait a second. Why do laws of identity exist? Let's start there. That's a basic law of logic. Nothing works without the law of identity. What causes the law of identity? Why does the law of identity never change over time? And what's going to cause the law of identity to be here tomorrow? That's one. Okay, we'll stick with that one.
Okay, sure. So, as far as I'm aware, that's an aspect of our universe that we've observed that we can understand.
I'm sorry, sir. Our observation
trying to
does
answer
not
your question.
prescribe
No.
it. I didn't ask you if we observed the law of identity, sir. I asked you where it comes from. Are you stupid or something? You know what? The stupid man cannot understand this. The fool cannot know that Psalm 92:6. Now, once again, I'm going to ask you, sir. You asked me to stick with one.
I'm dying. It's killing me.
Yeah. What'd you think of the philosophical investigations we did 2 days ago, Trini?
Ever be tested in a lab and repeated in a lab, right? Is because the words we use, right? If I use a word right now, okay, and somebody tries the experiment, right? And he writes down the word God, and I talk about God as he's trying to recreate the test again, right? For the second time. Then I've literally affected that water from the other side of the planet Earth, wherever the fuck he is. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a strange thing, bro. But that's magic, okay? When you find out magic is real, then you find out potentially the devil's real. And when you find that out, then you can go talk to Anarchy System, and Anarchy System will make sense. But everybody hates Anarchy System. But Anarchy System knows his shit. Because I was thinking about these things, I was looking it up, right? And I was asking Anarchy System questions. And he was answering me without fucking Googling. He's like, this is what it is, that's what it is. You know, I got a lot of good information from Anarchy System. So once you get to that stage, if you want to get to that stage, if you want to fucking believe that magic is real, or you can just ignore it and say, I don't give a fuck about magic, fuck all this shit. You know, because knowing that magic is real, it will change your entire worldview about how you look at the world, like everything.
I'm sure it would. Yeah.
Yeah. So you honestly, in my opinion, don't even find out if it's real. But look into some of the stuff I told you about. Okay, that's all I'm saying with the rice experiment and shit.
I haven't heard of the rice experiment. I've heard of the Dr. Emoto experiment. Yeah, I haven't heard of the rice experiment. Awesome. Okay. Cool. I'm sure I'll have a lot more questions later on.
Yeah, hopefully I can answer them, bro.
You back, Nate?
Oh, I'm here.
I'm here.
So-
What's up?
Yeah,
I still wonder if that was. So you don't know who the Euthyphro was? You've never heard of him?
Never, bro.
Yeah,
First time.
okay. All right, guys. Well, I will be back later.
Take care, bro.
Take care, guy.
What's up, P. Mars?
Yo, I was just listening to Mr. Batman and Skylar Fiction. It's the same old shit. You guys heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, you're a pedophile. Sir, how do you justify blah, blah,
blah. No argument. Didn't they have a debate recently? Like, beginning of beginning of this year.
I was just there to I was talking shit at Skylar Fiction. I said he had mommy issues and he couldn't control his emotions and all this shit. Is funny.
Dang. Why?
I don't know.
That's me.
It's it's fun to troll him, I guess.
Oh, you don't like him?
I mean, he's always I don't like the things he says about the Bible. I think it's really fucked up.
But he always gives the internal critique, right? Oh, that's what he claimed he say he does.
Yes. Yeah, he looks at the Bible from his own viewpoint, yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess he look at it like a fundamentalist. Yeah, you're right.
Well, he just always goes oh look, God killed baby. Oh look, slavery. It's just.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's little gotcha moments.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, I haven't seen this video, but my account Gregson is streaming it, so let's watch this.
Alright.
They describe an escalating campaign of racial slurs, loud music, and monkey noises.
Monkey noises?
And they're saying this is some racist bullshit or something.
So, yep, a black family moves in and the neighbor tries to drive them out with monkey noises. Local police say while the behavior is appalling, it is not criminally actionable. Janique Martinez joins me now. Janique, thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry that you're dealing with this. Good evening to you. You moved in 5 years ago. What's living next to that been like for you? I mean, did it start right away?
No, it did not start right away. It started maybe about a year and a half afterwards. And it started off, just, during the day. And again, depending on which one of the families stepped out, a different song would play. The lights on his house would start blinking because as we step out of our home, we would trigger sensors that would then turn on music. Or we had one family, as soon as they pulled up in their driveway,
so fucking boring,
the music would start.
All right, my bad for showing this.
No. Everything will start recording, or it was just constantly feeling like we're on surveillance, and then the music was just the cherry on top. It was a lot. But that's what it started with. Was that
you got banjo music, monkey and animal noises, flashing lights, but there is more, and I want everyone to listen to what else your neighbor is playing. Here it is.
From now on, if a person uses the word it must be at least 7 words away from the word guy. It appears that the nigger epidemic is over.
You've got 3 kids, right? How do you explain that to them?
To be honest with you, my 2 older kids, they handled it very well. They just ignored him and just knew that, he was ignorant, and they paid it no mind. But my youngest, who just turned 7, he used to be terrified. And I say used to be because now he's come such a long way and he's found his strength and he's found his voice. But through, he's been living in this house since he turned 2. So that's all he knows. And so he was terrified. Yeah. He would be afraid to go get his ball if it ever went over there, or he would just constantly feel like he would come out and yell at him, which he has before. He'll call the police on the kids if they, go on his lawn to get a toy. He was just so afraid of him.
Did you have you spoken to him? Did you ever reach out to the neighbor and say, hey,
Only one time. Again, throughout the years, we try not to, talk to him or provoke him or anything. But one morning, we had just began virtual learning, September 2020. And, it was a hard time for us all. I'm working remotely, and where our office is, it's right next to his open window, and the music was blaring, and I went out there. It was around 8 o'clock. We had just logged in for school, and I asked him to turn it down. And his response to me was, well, let me call the police to make sure I'm in good standing with the law to play my music. And I was floored, because how about you just be a neighborly person, a parent, anything, to just understand where I'm coming from. And he was adamant that he was doing nothing wrong.
Have you ever considered moving?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
So I got to tell you that we reached out to your neighbor for comment, but haven't heard back. Police have told us that there is no crime being committed, because you said, you wanted to see if he was in good standing with the law. What happens when you call the police? What do they tell you?
I tell them about the noise, and they said they'll come out, and they do every time. They come out, they ask him to turn it down, and he turns it down. The last time I called and I expressed to them about the escalation with the N-word, and she said, ma'am, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do, go down to your magistrate. And I said, okay, thinking that would be a solution. And this was on a Saturday. Monday morning, I go down to the magistrate, and I felt dismissed. He said that it was a figure of speech or freedom of speech or a phrase, and I just was like, so where do I stand? So there's nothing I can do. He said, well, we don't handle stuff like that. You have to go to civil court. I said, okay. So I went to talk to a judge in civil court. And although he was a little bit more compassionate, he just basically told me that if he did not threaten my family or pose any bodily harm, that there's nothing the courts could do about it. So leaving the courtroom, I felt deflated. I felt so defeated. I just felt like I couldn't protect my kids. I couldn't imagine living like this while in my own home. I couldn't imagine that. It really broke my heart.
I'm sure there's a nice jungle somewhere else. I just think
yeah, well, you guys want me to play another video or something, or
I just think that woman was an idiot. Or wait, is my mic working?
I don't know, this was fucking trash, bro. Look at the dislikes by the racist fucks. Look at this. I like that. Nobody gives a shit.
How can you not dislike her? She seems like such an idiot. Like, why didn't she just
I think she was playing tricks, because she said this happened a year and a half after she moved in. So there might have been some sort of...
She also said it's been going on... Why did I keep...
Like, I don't trust these, because it's like... What if they actually fought, and then she's not saying... That's why I don't trust her words, right? That's why.
I've seen other stories of, like, neighbors that do this shit. It's not always over racism, but, like, you just move. I don't know, or there's nothing really you can do about it. I don't know what the hell she's thinking. Like she's just a woman, I guess. I don't know. Like the part where they're like, go talk to the magistrate. She's like, I thought that would be a solution. Like, what?
Listen to the song, bro. Listen to the song.
Right,
Man.
My computer's screwed up.
You can't describe Earth's surface as a flat plane.
Yes, you can. It'll be distorted when you do.
Right?
Why can't I talk here?
About a sphere
using 2 dimensions. By definition,
it to be
the surface is 2 dimensions.
Surface of a sphere so bad. We're just
Because
talking about how you would describe a surface.
Right, with 2 dimensions. There you go. Yeah, perfect.
Right. Measure,
so are you saying a paper is 2-dimensional?
But you're only measuring the area of it. You're not describing the shape.
No, yeah, that's fine. Sure. If I just gave you,
so it's not Earth's surface then.
If I gave you a value, an X value and a Y value, you wouldn't be able to tell me what possible shape in 3 dimensions that it makes. You would require a 3rd dimension to determine that, or help you determine that. But even then, it might be incomplete.
To determine what?
The shape, particular shape.
Shape of what?
Right, exactly. If I only gave you values in of each dimensions, if there were 2 dimensions, I don't think you'd be able to put your life on a particular shape.
You can't give me the shape of anything with only 3 dimensions.
Right.
You just told me that you could.
No, I said you couldn't. I said I don't think you'd be able to put your life on it with just 2 values. No, you wouldn't be able to determine the shape. But you can determine. But you can determine a particular location on that 2-dimensional thing.
Yeah, but then I need you to repeat what you said about the significance of having X, Y, Z.
The significance? It's just you're just adding more descriptions to it.
Yeah, but you associated it with determining shape.
No, I didn't. Rakia brought that up, and I said no, you wouldn't be able to do that with just 2 dimensions.
Okay,
and it would be difficult with 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has he told you?
Do I have to exist?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. Also, am I muted or something? I don't know.
You are now, because if you're not going to answer my questions, okay, I'm not going to have a conversation with you. Next.
I will answer it, Mr. Batman. I'm sorry.
I asked you 3 times. I go by the 3-strike rule. I ask you twice. You don't answer my question twice, then I strike you with the mute button. Have a nice day. Repent or perish. You're on your way to hell.
Okay,
next.
Can I ask the second question at least? Hello? Okay. I was just trying to be nice, man, but okay. Whatever.
He's asking you if you think men and women are equal or not.
Yes, I do.
In that feminism wave. Is it trying to affirm that they're equal or not by giving them voting rights and education?
Wow, did I not just ask that?
Yes, you did.
Did I not just say that very same thing? Thank you, Miss Squishy. I appreciate your help.
I didn't understand what you meant in the context. I'm a little slow when it comes to that stuff, but yes, I think.
So they're equal.
Yes.
They're fighting to be equal.
They're equal? Well, now, if they're equal, I got a question. What caused them to be? What caused man and women to be if they are equal?
What caused man or women to be if they are?
Oh, one moment. Let me unmute you because now we might actually have a conversation. Now, ma'am, if they are equal, what?
First of all, they don't believe in.
Oh, actually. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Something. Well, this is going to change the subject.
See my shit. Myself. See my. Who's coughing like that? That's you, Trini?
Yeah.
See my remote control cars, bro? See me out here, bro? My remote control cars. My lacrosse sticks. My many lacrosse sticks. More flooring. My bikes. My track. Specialized. A shop vac that I gotta hook up right now.
Yeah, Catasaurus Rex, what were you saying?
Is my reception better now?
What's his name?
God, Yahweh, he goes by.
You're creating a fiction. You're creating a synthesis. This is why I say the truth is synthetic. Because you're asking a question like, if I see the sun or the moon every night go along a certain course, for a couple